A free body diagram is just a picture that shows all of the forces that are acting upon a rigid body so that you can do some calculations. For example, equilibrium calculations. So we've talked about what a rigid body is. A rigid body is our engineering assumption of all of the mass inside a shape that where the mass doesn't move with respect to one another, and it is that forces can be rigidly acted upon by that whole shape without any deformation. So it's not a fluid, for example. So we usually draw the rigid body really simply. We draw it as a little square or a little dot, for example. And here's how we do free body diagrams. And it's pertinent to do free body diagrams. Show your work, just like every teacher, every professor says, show your work on a free body diagram, because you might miss something. So classically, we want to draw a free body diagram. Here's what we do. First, we draw the rigid body. So here's a rigid body. Here's a rigid body shown as a dot. Here's a rigid body shown as a square. So we draw the rigid body first, then we define a coordinate system on it, because not all coordinate systems would be the same. So maybe I have a staircase and I am analyzing the handrail on a staircase, and the forces that are acting upon a handrail on a staircase. And I don't necessarily want the coordinate system to be north-south. Maybe I want it to be along the surface, like I'm doing down here, which is a rigid body on an inclined plane, classic example. So I define that coordinate system wherever it's going to make my calculations easier. There is no right or wrong, but there's kind of weird and difficult. So if you, for example, in an inclined plane, if I did not make my coordinate system in line with the inclined plane here, and if I did it like horizontal and vertical, just like a classic Cartesian coordinate system, I would actually be putting myself into a little bit of problems because my sum of forces won't be as easy. And then you're going to show your forces and your moments all on that diagram. So here's an example where my rigid body is just a dot. So of course I want to put the coordinate system at that dot. I chose to put horizontal and vertical Cartesian coordinate system. I have a force due to gravity of the mass that is caused by that dot, and then I have a force out in this direction. I could have chosen a coordinate system like this if I wanted to. Still, one force is going to have an angle, and one is going to be along the coordinate system, but typically choose something that is along that coordinate system. Let's look at the second example. Force of gravity is going downwards. Force F2 is going up. There's two forces that are going in one of the directions, so I'm going to choose the coordinate system to be that direction. And then really the only problem one is this F1 that I have to resolve onto one of those axes. All right. Let's practice this with an inclined plane. So here's an inclined plane. My point mass, or my solid body, is this rectangle, and the inclined plane is this solid ground here, basically. So my point mass, or my rigid body, has a mass m in kilograms. Because it has a mass m, it does have gravity acting upon it. Therefore, it has, here it is, force due to gravity acting upon it is equal to the mass in kilograms times 9.81 meters per second squared, which is acceleration due to gravity. That's acting down. And look at the coordinate system I chose for this. I decided to choose the coordinate system of... Thank you. I decided to choose the coordinate system that is going sideways, and I chose it sideways because I want to. And I chose it sideways because I have F2 and F3 are acting in the direction of the inclined plane. So I can do my sum of my forces easily in that X direction. and then FG and F1 are going to be resolved onto the axes, which is a bit harder. But if I had chosen classic Cartesian coordinate system, horizontal and vertical, then I would have to resolve F1 onto an axis, F2 and F3, and only FG would be aligned with the axis. So just be careful of how you choose that coordinate system, and it just makes your life easier if you choose a smart one. So here we go. F2 makes me happy. F2 makes me happy because it's on the x-axis. F3 makes me happy because it's on the fx axis. F1 here will have to be resolved to the x-axis or to the y-axis. FG will have to be resolved to the y-axis or the x-axis. Either one of those would be valid. But this is how you draw a free body diagram. You draw the rigid body, you define your coordinate system wherever you want it, and you show all of the forces and the moments acting upon that solid body.